We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. It is Week 16 in the NFL, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the LA Chargers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. On the visitors' sideline, their head coach. His guys are putting together a season to remember. No blemishes on their record to this point. On the Cowboys side, head coach Brian Schottenheimer. His guys ready to show out in front of the home fans as they try to send them home happy at the end of this one. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. Time for Dak Prescott and the Dallas offense to go to work. Prescott, of course, the former fourth-round pick in 2016 out of Mississippi State.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
They'll run it for the first time with Williams. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The numbers for Williams a week ago: 14 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown.
And when you measure numbers for the guys that carry the football, it's not just the yardage. How many times do they ring the bell? How many times they get into the end zone? And now that he has 15 for the year, everyone gets to celebrate, starting with his offensive line.
And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 43. On play action, Prescott. He's got this to Pickens. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. Prescott throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after them early, right? Take away any chance of them building any confidence. But the second thing is you prepare a little bit differently. You got to expect this team to take chances, go for it on 3rd and 4th downs, run a lot of trick plays, anything to try and break their losing streak. So you must stay alert and stay aware. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
There we go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Completes this one to Pickens. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 14. A pretty good mark there. They needed 14. They got 14 on 3rd down. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, here we go.
Throwing, Prescott. They'll set up the screen for Spears. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area, but they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Now he'll tuck this and run. corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
And defensively, they had an extra defensive back on the field, their nickel package, and it made a difference. All the receivers were blanketed, so he tried to run for it, but he came up just a bit short.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And it certainly hadn't taken Herbert long to earn his status as one of the league's best and most entertaining passers. Locked and loaded at every snap, and the second he sees an opening, that ball is soaring downfield. You better be on your toes against him on defense. The second you turn your head, they'll burn you.
Well, look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
It's taken in by Quentin Johnston. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first.
Lion.
And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete. You look at this Cowboy defense. They come into this one way down at number 23 against the run of the NFL.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got...
Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DeMarvion Overshown. And the Cowboys are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers at that situation, they really become magnified.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. They'll come up now 3rd and 9.
Yeah, here we go. Right there.
Prescott now from the 50. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Tui Pelotu in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Here comes Rager. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Here's Herbert. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far, and that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
The Cowboys offense and Javonte Williams head out for this next drive. And as we check out the NFL leaders in rushing touchdowns coming into the weekend, see a familiar name there near the top of the leaderboard, currently second in that category. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time.
Yeah, here we go.
Prescott on 3rd and goal. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And this one is right through. And that will make it 6-0. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Chargers offense and running back Najee Harris set to take over once more. And here we are in the month of December with his name sitting atop the leaders in rushing yards as the season nears its end. Strong finish here in the final stretch of games could earn him the crown. They'll start the drive with Harris. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 3rd and 4 now.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation. would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and it passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. But you talk about the defense for these Chargers. Now, they've been pretty much a mess against the pass, number 31 in the league.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test. Taking out.
That's caught inside the 20. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act to this first quarter. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Here we go, go to 54, go to 54, line. Yeah! Here we go!
Prescott from the gun. He'll drop this down to Williams. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Javonte Williams, his 16th rushing touchdown on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Aubrey good with a PAT. And the lead now stands at 13. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was capped off by a Javonte Williams touchdown. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. Gets past one man. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. No big surprise, Micah Parsons doing what he does so well, dropping him for a loss. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Back to throw here, Herbert. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. So they'll get nothing out of that play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Herbert. Going deep here for Allen. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
On the return, it's Tony. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The offense getting set again. We spotlight Javonte Williams, the running back. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. Here's Prescott. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. Here's Prescott. He'll get that to Javonte Williams. It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Play action now. Prescott. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Yeah! There we go!
Prescott off play action. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
No receivers open downfield, so instead of forcing the ball to the sideline, he's going to throw this one down to Fort Worth. He'd rather have the incompletion than the turnover.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Deshaun Hand breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And the pressure gets to him again. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will extend their lead even further. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. They're down a couple of scores, 16-0. As they start things out with a 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Harris will start the drive out. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Micah Parsons. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Third down and 13. Here's Herbert. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Set. Delta.
Play action. It's Herbert. Can't get away, and he's taken down. Micah Parsons. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
The Chargers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Now it's Herbert. Now this one finds McConkey. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here comes Tony on the return. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Yeah! Here we go!
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Prescott. Incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
Yeah! Here we go! I take one, eh?
Prescott now. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Set. 380. Green out. Delta out. Let's go.
Herbert now. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
Set. 380. Green out. Set.
Harris running straight ahead. And that's going to be good for a Chargers first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Set. Ready.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Just a gain of a couple there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Herbert with a connection to Allen for a Charger first down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That one complete to McConkey. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it'll be 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Here's 2nd and 3.
Set. 380. Green out. Set.
Herbert back to the air. In trouble, and he's taken down. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive.
380. Green out. Set.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Now a deep one for Johnston. And this is caught inside the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. So halftime straight ahead. It is time to join our good friend Scott Hansen. He's got our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Final 3 weeks of the regular season witching hour, when playoff teams become also-rans and also-rans become playoff teams. Let's dive in. Our trip around the NFL starts now. We begin at venerable Soldier Field, the Bears at home to take on their NFC North rivals, the Packers. And this is Christian Watson. One of his 2 touchdown catches in the game coming right here. We go from there to this, the NFC title game rematch from a year ago. Eagles and Commanders, this one in D.C. And this is Keaton Mitchell. Spots an opening, capitalizes on it, 15 yards for the touchdown. The Commanders wind up taking this one by a touchdown. One more to show you, and it's out in Seattle, the Seahawks hosting the LA Rams. And this is Sam Darnold. He'll find his big tight end in the back of the end zone, touchdown. The Seahawks win their 3rd straight game as they get the victory today. With that, time for a look at the playoff picture. Things starting to come into focus in the NFC here in Week 16. Meanwhile, in our game, it was a competitive, hard-hitting first half. We expect more of the same going forward as we send you back out to Brandon and Charles.
The Chargers going to get the football first here in this second half, and they trail as we get back underway. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 27.
Set. Black 80. Black. Ready.
A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
Go.
Herbert off of play action. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Run. Set. 380. Run. Set.
They hand this off to Harris. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Set. 380. Run. Ready.
They run again with Harris. And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Out of the gun, Herbert. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 19. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
This is 2nd and 8.
Set. 380.
Here's Herbert. Now he'll tuck this and run. Herbert able to show his wheels as he gets the first.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
On the give, this is Harris. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. Najee Harris with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half.
And that's a step in the right direction. This had the feeling of one of those turning point kind of drives. If you come up empty there, it could be a long road back. But they persevered and hung around, and they closed the gap here in the third quarter with their first touchdown of the game.
Kaplan. Ready.
And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it. And they're going to get the two-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. And that almost makes it a brand-new ballgame. Now it's a one-score affair after they get the two.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the two-point play because they had to have it to get it within the range that you just talked about. Dialed up their two-point play. It worked. Now they're feeling like they've got a shot at this one.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Dallas offense set for this next drive. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Out of the gun to give to Spears. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
Here we go.
Prescott from the gun. They'll try and do this himself. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Prescott able to use those legs of his to pick up the first. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, But that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Hand off to Spears. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. He'll try to pick it up himself. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards. Looking to throw. Prescott. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Not the first and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. To throw is Prescott. Over the middle, complete. It's Ferguson. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Prescott on 3rd and goal. He'll try and do this himself. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Prescott, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And the lead is up to 15 now. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter and the entire fourth remaining, so stranger things have happened.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46. A run with Harris out of his shotgun. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Set. Cap it. Go.
This is Harris. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Throwing on second and long. Herbert. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And they're going to be staring at a third and long here.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He'll try and do this himself. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Herbert. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4. Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And here's another carry for Harris. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Rondé Gadsden, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together.
Yeah, here we go.
Now Spears to begin the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. He finds Pickens over the middle. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And this returnable for Rager. There'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And it feels like the momentum has shifted. They scored, then their defense forces that last punt. And now a chance to tie the game on this possession.
Set. Kappa. Go.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. Up past the 30, 2nd down coming up.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Set. 380. Set.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Open man here is Conklin. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Set. 380.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
A give to Harris. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. This offense on 3rd down today, 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he is caught. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They'll try the right side with Harris. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't it? It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? He's got his target. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. This is Harris. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. Whipping one into Allen. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 15-yard line. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. And they run with Harris off the option. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Now it's Herbert. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. The noise is getting deafening. Here's 3rd down and 3. Herbert now. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Lad McConkey, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. For quarterbacks, there are a number of ways to measure a good statistical season. This is one of them. That last touchdown pass, his 30th on the year. So now a big play coming up as the Chargers are going to go for 2.
The Chargers will line up for the Ready.
They'll look to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They came after him. He couldn't get away. And this remains a 2-point game. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Second down, 8 yards to go.
Set. 380. Bring it out. Ready.
Here's Herbert. His throw incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Well, this crowd making it hard to hear. This is 3rd and 8.
Kappa. Set.
Throwing Herbert. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Nice, well coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
Delta, set. Let's go.
Here's Harris. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Set. 380. Bring it out. 380. Bring it out. Set.
They'll run again with Harris. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Here's 1st and 10.
Set. Black 80. Black. Bring it out.
Harris. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Here's 2nd down.
Set. 380. Bring it out. What is it?
Harris running straight ahead. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Big play looming here. This is 3rd and 7 with a crowd on their feet.
380. Bring it out. Ready.
They'll run. Here's Harris. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And his kick is indeed good. And they've come in here and stolen one on the road. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the 4th quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, How about that come from behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for the Chargers, they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they run their mark to 15-0 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week.